Wow! Today I'm going to Badagry. This is lifestyle with OSA-J. A very dull moment.
Thanks so much.
Now, my name is Dr. and here is a movie found in State Over there, have a real chain chapels used on our forefathers during the period of slavery. So before I go to the chain, I would like to give you an overview of what happened in Badagry during the period of slavery. You see, Badagry was known to be a slave corridor during the olden days. Badagry happened to be one of the two major slave codes we have in Nigeria for transatlantic slave trade. There is one major slave market in Badagry, there is another one at the Calabar. So we have a market in Badagry called Badagry Slave Market, established in the year 1502. It's the biggest slave market in the whole of Africa, while we have New York Slave Market in Calabar. Slaves were not being captured from Badagry. Slaves were brought from the hinterland. And so our forefathers were middlemen between the white and the black. They buy slaves from their fellow black, they sell to the black. So any slaves captured from the hinterland, slaves captured from the Oyo Empire, were marched down to Badagry. Slaves captured from the eastern part of Nigeria were marched down to Calabar. So they have a young slave market in Calabar, while we have Badagry slave market in Badagry. So the black people bring slaves from the hinterland, sell to the people of Badagry. The people of Badagry now resell to the white men, and this trade lasted in Badagry for about 400 years.
400 years?
So slaves captured from the hinterland were marched down to Badagry and straight to the Badagry slave market, established in the year 1502. Now, back in those days, over 300 slaves were sold inside the market every market days. And a market days is every 5 days. So every 5 days, white enter the slave market. They sell slaves to the white men inside the slave market. So over 300 sold every market days. Over 17,000 slaves are let out of this market every year. From the market to the Brazilian barracoon. And that will be the next place we'll be going. They are kept inside the barracoon for about 3 to 4 months, where they make them eat, drink, urinate, defecate on each other. Even while the women are observing the menstrual cycle, they do it on each other inside the market for another 3 to 4 months, from where they proceed to the other side of the lagoon. At the other side of the lagoon, because that place is a point of no return, journey to unknown destination. They were forced to drink a particular water that makes them become less aggressive, lose their memory, and from the water, they load them inside the ship. Most of the time, they overload the ship. A ship that is supposed to carry 1,000 slaves, they decide to put 1,005 or 2,000 slaves inside. And by the time they get to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and the ship is not moving at the pace they want it to move, they pick up some of the slaves and drop them inside the Atlantic Ocean. So it's not all the slaves that left the shore of Africa that get to where they are taking them to. The majority of them perish inside the Atlantic Ocean. The slaves taken from here, some of them were meant to work in a house, while some work in a farm. Those working in the house are called the domestic slaves. The male domestic slaves were usually castrated. They castrate them because they don't want them to impregnate the wife or children of the black or the white men. So they remove their testes and they become very big, huge, and tall. The female domestic slaves were used as wet moths. The white people don't want the breast of their wife to lose shape because they don't want the breast of their wife to sag. They don't allow their wife breastfeed. Once they decide that their wife is pregnant, they impregnate the black woman working with them in the house. And the black woman will be the one to breastfeed the child of the master. Most of the time, they kill the baby of the black woman or collect the baby from people and give to another woman working inside. This is how the plantation life looks like. You can see 3-4 generations working on the same plantation. The only time they have access to eat, especially those working the sugarcane plantation, is on the day of harvesting. It is during the harvesting period. And so most times they padlock their mouths for them not to have access to what they are working on the plantation. So slavery refused to work inside the farm. They punished them publicly so that will serve as a deterrent to other slaves. Now, the judgment for this trade was made in Europe. Majority of slaves taken from Africa were taken out to Europe. And so at the time when their population began to increase, they began to revolt against the whites. And so they went to court and they made a judgment that slave trade should be abolished in the year 1772. But this good news got to Badagry in the year 1852. So it was in the year 1852 our ancestors in Badagry signed the Treaty of the Abolition of Slave Trade with the British. So officially, Transatlantic slave trade was abolished in Badagry in the year 1852. Now talking about this transatlantic slave trade, they also call it the Atlantic Triangular Trade because the white men comes to Africa, they take our forefathers. Most of them were taken to the Caribbean islands where they were meant to work on sugarcane plantation, cotton plantation, tobacco plantation. The harvested produce will now be taken from there to America, where they transform it to finished goods. These goods were returned back to us in Africa in this stage of slaves. And so, the trade was abolished physically in the year 1888 by the help of the man buried here, Chief Somo Mobi. The father of the man buried here was a middleman between the white and the black. The father of the man buried here usually buys slaves from his fellow black and sell to the white men. Remember I said slaves are not being captured from Badagry. They were brought from the hinterland. Our ancestors only buy from their fellow black and sell to the white men. So whenever the white people come around to buy slaves, the father of the man buried here usually offer them kola nuts. The Yorubas call kola nuts obi. So each time they come around, he offer them kola nuts. It tells them the Yoruba language. Meaning my white friends, pick kola nuts eat. They always hear him saying Emobije. And so they gave him a nickname from there, Chief Mobi. The family now adopted Mobi as a family name, and Mobi is now the chieftain's title in Badagry today. The father was involved in the trade. The man buried here doesn't like the trade. And so he was part of those who signed the Treaty of the Abolition of Slave Trade in the year 1852. And in the year 1888, when he discovered that the Portuguese were still in Badagry doing the trade legally, the man buried here waged war against the Portuguese slave merchants and seized the last vessel of slaves in Badagry. The slave inside the vessel here had a real chain around their neck. This is called the neck lock. This is for the neck of the slaves. The slaves were meant to walk with this around their neck for 18 hours every day. Now, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? How do you feel with the chain around your neck?
It's damn heavy. Guys, it's heavy.
Did you feel any kind of pain while carrying the chain around your neck?
Over here, like I feel the pain is like down here.
Yeah. And on your chest.
Yeah.
Now, for how long can you carry this?
I think I can last for an hour.
Our forefathers were made to walk with these inside the farm for 18 hours every day. While traveling, this will remain around their neck for 3 to 4 months before they get to their final destination.
I no carry, no worry.
You don't want to carry?
I no carry.
Bro, it's for heavy.
So this is the neck lock, and this is the line. The length of the line will determine how many neck lock will be attached to it. And so if the line is very long, you can collect like 10, 20 slips at a time. They arrange them on a single file. Remember, if one person falls,
Every other person.
others fall. And you have to beat them to stand up. This is called the mouth clip, and this is for the mouth of the slaves. Now, for slaves not to eat while working on the farm, or for them not to talk, was the reason why they use this. They pierce the lips of the slaves with hot iron, the lower and the upper lips. They perforate it with hot iron. In the morning, while going to the farm, this goes to the mouth. They padlock their mouth. Remember, they have made holes on their lips.
Yeah.
So they put this and make. There's no how they can squeeze in something inside their mouth.
There's no way.
With this
Locked
on their lips. So this is called the mouth clip for the mouth of the slaves working on the field. Remember I told you that some work in the house They are called domestic slaves. So this is for slaves working inside the farm.
I can't even talk. Yeah. What about this one? What about this one?
I'm going to explain this.
Okay.
This is called the light chain. And this is for the babies.
The
Any
babies?
child given birth by a slave is a slave. For the children, not to be playing about the farm, so as not to step away their parents and sons. They gather the children together, change their arms to inside the chain. They make them sit under a tree, far away from where their parents are working. So this is called the light chain for the babies. But this is a two-point one. For stubborn slavery refused to work inside the farm. Any slave disobeys master forces into their head down to the wrist, and this doesn't go in easily, so they will need to break the bone. They break the bone, force it to the wrist, then make the slaves climb the platform and screw this up to a tree. Slaves now be hung on the tree, dangling from morning to night. Because of being that also believe that the Lord was okay, because our forefathers were using this thing right. This in their slaves. Slaves don't bear name during the period of slave trade. They bear the name of their masters, or any name given to them by the white people. For the white people to be able to identify their slaves, they put this in fire. When this is red hot, they use this to write the name of the owner of the slaves on the body of the slaves. The second function of this is to pierce the lips of the slaves. The last function of this is to pierce the foot. The stubborn slave will try to run away and capture. So when this is red hot, they hit this into the foot to pierce the leg or break the bone inside the leg. Why this is called the hammer? This is for the leg of two slaves. Two slaves are used to walk with this around their hand at the same time.
Wow.
It will be very difficult for the slave to run with this at a time. And that's why when they have this, you remember I said when one person falls, others falls, and with these around the leg of the slaves. So this was the one who recognized back then in Africa, cowries.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll have come across it before, cowries.
Yeah.
But this also recognized as means of fasting among we blacks. The white man doesn't see this as money, and that led to the introduction of trade by barter. Remember I told you that what we practice is also known as the Atlantic Triangular Trade. The white men come here, take our forefathers, some of them to the West Indies. Whatever we produce, we take it from there to America. They transform it to finished goods. This good will return back to us in the city of mostly. Because white people doesn't see this as money. The bottom of our was a safe 10 million. White people that work in a factory to produce the dry gin, the black people taken from Africa. So a bottle of dry gin for 10 slaves, mirror for 10, an umbrella for 40 slaves. This size of a cannon gun was I say for 40, the big size of this for 100. Why do we need this? They brought this to us so we could fight ourselves, capture slaves, sell back to the white people. All that divide and conquer. The whites are still doing this in Africa until date. So this size for 40, the big size of this for 100. When you have this, you will need gunpowder to use this. The gunpowder will be in exchange of more
Slaves.
Wisdom.
Yes,
because are crazy, man.
40 to 50 slaves drink water from this bowl at a time. And slaves drink water from this bowl with their hand being tied to the back. Now there's a particular time the slave drink water during the day. Once they miss water for that period, they will not have access to water again until the next day. So because they know that once they miss water, they have to wait till the next day. They struggle to drink. Because of struggling to drink water, they push one another. They get caught by the edge of the spots. The blood drips into the water.
Damn.
They have no choice. They drink the blood water like that because they have access to food and water once in a day. Finally, this is the well at the point of no return. The spirit and termination law. The slaves were forced to drink from this well. They were forced to make this recitation. After drinking and making this recitation, they are going to become less aggressive. They lose their key memory. No wonder why Nigeria will supply 24% of slaves taken out of Africa. 24% of slaves taken out of Africa is from Nigeria, 24% from Angola, 16% from Ghana, 13% from Senegambia. About 38.5% of slaves taken out of Africa were taken to Brazil. And that's why all of our culture in Yoruba land are still being practiced in Brazil to date. After Portuguese in Brazil, Yoruba is their second official language. And all because of Yoruba land are still being worshipped with us up to date. You are welcome to Badagry.
Wow.
Tim Topper will be my name. Any question?
Wow.
Yes, sir.
This part is a recitation. It says, I am leaving this land. My spirit lives with me. I shall not come back. Now, my shackles do not break. It is the shackles that holds the ship down. My ancestors bear me witness. I shall not return. This land shall depart. My soul do not revolt. My spirit goes along with me. I depart in the land unknown. I shall not return. Wow, this was a recitation of the black taken out of Africa, the Athanasian world. Okay.
Let us remember, reflect, and reconcile as we walk towards a more just and compassionate world. I am OSA-J. Thanks for watching.